If you're thinking about buying the Thrustmaster T300 RS for your sim racing setup, stick around because I'm about to share some critical insights that many reviews don't mention. This wheel promises immersive, smooth force feedback that should make you feel every turn, drift, and curb like you're on a real racetrack. But here's what surprised me. Behind all the hype, there are some real quirks that might make you think twice before dropping almost $370. And trust me, I've got an angle that you won't hear elsewhere that can save you time, money, and tons of frustration. Now, before you grab your racing gloves, know this review is for serious sim racers on PS5 or PC looking to upgrade from a controller. If you want precision, immersive force feedback, and long-term upgrade potential, this wheel seems like the perfect candidate. However, if you're a casual gamer who just wants to hop in and have fun without needing to tweak settings constantly, your experience might be very different. Stick with me and I'll unpack all the pros and cons so you can decide if it's the wheel that fits your racing dreams, or if you should look elsewhere. Let's be honest. When I first unboxed the Thrustmaster T300 RS, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. Belting out smooth, fluid steering, bundled with a 3-pedal set that promised better control over braking and acceleration. It all sounded like the perfect race day companion. But then the reality hit like a spinout on a wet track. Some unexpected issues showed up that other reviews gloss over. It's almost like the wheel was saying, "I'm going to boost your lap times," just after you wrestle with inconsistent force feedback toggles and that ever-so-occasional calibration nightmare. Yep, turns out smooth force feedback can sometimes have hiccups that make it feel more like a roller coaster ride off the track than a smooth race. But here's a twist that might surprise you. Even with these problems, the T300 RS is still one of the more affordable options in the mid to high-end sim racing wheel market. Think of it like that one perfect racing line through a tricky chicane. It looks simple, but is tough to nail perfectly every lap. You get a belt-driven motor that's quieter than most gear-driven counterparts, giving you realistic road feel without making your gaming room sound like a jackhammer site. And I'll give them credit. The pedals, while basic compared to some pricier sets, offer decent modulation, giving you more control than the standard dual pedals you find in beginner kits. It's like upgrading from riding a tricycle to a mildly fast bicycle, definitely noticeable but not Formula One yet. That said, if you're switching from a gamepad to this wheel, expect a significant learning curve not just from the steering feel but also from setup headaches. From firmware updates that sometimes feel like they take forever, to occasional disconnects that make you question if the wheel is on a secret coffee break. This is not a plug-and-play in the truest sense. You'll either become best friends with troubleshooting forums or spend a frustrating night wondering why your wheel isn't responding mid-race. And oh, the calibration quirks. Thankfully, it's nothing unfixable, but it requires patience. Just like tuning a car engine, sometimes it's about small adjustments that make a huge difference. Before you get discouraged, though, here's a mini promise. I'm going to tell you about the Thrustmaster ecosystem, why growing your sim rig with add-ons like shifters and enhanced pedal sets can turn this setup from average into a full-fledged race simulator, worth every penny. That's if you're willing to invest over time and tweak your setup constantly. Plus, the compatibility with PS5 and PC means this wheel keeps you future-ready, protecting your investment longer than some competitor wheels priced similarly. Have you ever heard the joke about the racing wheel that went to therapy? It had too many unresolved issues to shift smoothly. Well, the T300 RS seems like it might benefit from some force feedback counseling, but once you get it dialed in, it really can transform your racing experience. Just remember that once your wheel is set up perfectly, it feels surprisingly natural and responsive in games like Gran Turismo 7 or Assetto Corsa. Okay, diving deeper, let's talk about the core feature, force feedback. This wheel uses a belt-driven motor that's smoother and quieter than gear-driven options, which usually means more immersive gameplay. You do feel the road texture, tire slip, and car understeer distinctly. However, minor lag and jitter issues can occur, especially when using it on PC with certain game titles or drivers. It's not a deal breaker but can throw off your rhythm during tight corners. On PlayStation, the experience is generally more consistent, which is great news if you're mainly a PlayStation user. The wheel itself is well built, with a rubberized grip that provides good hold even in sweaty sessions. It's a lot like having a personal pit crew for your hands. The layout of the buttons, paddle shifters, and dial feels intuitive, though some racers might miss dedicated buttons for quick menu access. The wheel clamp is sturdy and keeps your setup rock solid on your desk or sim rig frame without slipping, an essential factor when the competition is fierce and split-second reactions matter. Now here's the pedal set story. The three-pedal layout, clutch, brake, and throttle, is a welcome upgrade over simpler two-pedal setups most beginners get. It allows for more realistic throttle control and braking finesse. That said, the brake pedal has a softer feel due to a rubber stop rather than a load cell sensor, which means you won't get that precise, progressive braking feel some high-end wheels offer. Think of it as learning to dance in sneakers before getting your custom racing boots. Considering upgrades, Thrustmaster really nailed the modular ecosystem approach. You can start with the T300 RS and gradually add a separate H-pattern shifter or a load cell brake pedal down the line. It's great for those who want to expand their setup without buying a whole new system every time. But keep in mind, each upgrade adds to your total cost, so plan accordingly if you want the full professional sim racing rig perfection. Here's a quick question for you. Would you rather sacrifice a bit of instant out-of-the-box performance for a wheel that grows with your skills? If yes, then the T300 RS might be up your alley. If you want flawless experience with zero setup fuss right away, it may frustrate you. I always suggest new buyers weigh this carefully. Are you ready to commit to learning and upgrading, or do you want something ready-made? Speaking of commitment, let me share a quick story. I had a friend, let's call him Jim, who jumped straight into sim racing with the T300 RS. First few races were rocky, with force feedback inconsistencies and brake pedal feeling squishy. Jim almost returned the wheel, calling it a brake dance floor. But after spending time in settings, installing firmware updates, and adding a better brake pedal later, he's now clocking lap times better than some driving coaches. Moral: this wheel rewards dedication and patience, not just a flashy unboxing. Time for another joke. Why did the sim racer bring a map to the race? Because even the T300 RS sometimes loses direction. Alright, enough teasing. The wheel's calibration tools help keep you on track if you spend a bit of time getting to know them. Now let's talk value. At around $370, the T300 RS sits between entry-level wheels and premium rigs. It offers excellent force feedback smoothness, decent build quality, and a pedal set that beats many entry options. However, some users report that competitor wheels at similar prices might provide better pedals or more immediate plug-and-play experience. But remember, you're also paying for Thrustmaster's club of compatible accessories, which means you can build a hall of fame-worthy racing cockpit over time without switching brands. Is it all perfect? No. Occasionally, the wheel can produce a faint, high-pitched whine under heavy force feedback loads. Nothing harmful but noticeable if you race in a quiet room. Additionally, some buyers find the software interface for settings a little clunky compared to competitors. But these niggles are fixable and often overshadowed by the engaging driving experience it delivers once tuned. At this point, you might be thinking, should I buy it or not? Here's the kicker. If you want to start sim racing seriously with a wheel that's far better than entry-level gamepads and promises evolving upgrade paths, the Thrustmaster T300 RS is worth your money. If you want something 100% hassle-free or with super precise brake feel out of the box, you may want to consider options in the slightly higher price range or add aftermarket pedals. Remember, sim racing is a journey. The T300 RS isn't the final destination, but it can be the right launching pad that takes you from novice to semi-pro racer with the right level of patience and investment. And here's a little bonus for you. Amazon sometimes throws in deals or bundles that include upgraded pedal sets or shifters at a discount. I'll leave a link in the description for the best price right now so you can snag it before prices change. To wrap things up on a high note, the Thrustmaster T300 RS delivers genuinely immersive, smooth force feedback that brings sim racing to life. It's built tough, ready for serious gamers on PS5 and PC, and designed to grow with you as your skills and gear needs evolve. Yes, it comes with quirks and some setup hurdles, but it rewards dedicated racers with confidence-building steering and better lap times. I like to think of it as a quirky racing buddy. Sometimes it throws a tantrum, but keeps you fueled for the ride. So if you're ready for a sim racing upgrade that offers realistic road feel, decent mod-friendly pedals, and a future-proof ecosystem, the Thrustmaster T300 RS is a smart pick. For the best price and genuine deals, check the link in the description below. Don't just drive your games, feel them. Race smarter, not harder, and as always, keep your wheels spinning.